Disruption of parliament is a disruption of democracy. My Hinduism is inclusive. Hindutva tends to be exclusive. There was a feeling of regret, of course, because it meant that the special position of the state.
Hello and welcome to Awaz The Voice interviews. I'm Nazir Ganai. We're joined by a very special guest, the former Sadr-i-Riyasat, Dr. Karan Singh, who is celebrating 75th year in the public life. Talking about his political journey, life's journey, and intellectual journey in Jammu and Kashmir or in whole of India, we have many things to talk about. His life, his political services, his public life overall. Dr. Saab, thank you so much for being on the show. And Awaz The Voice team and Awaz The Voice congratulates you.
Thank you
for
very
celebrating
much.
75th year
I appreciate
in public
that.
life.
75 years are over now.
And it's a huge period. I mean, it's a long period.
3/4 of a century.
So how would you recall your,
It's a fascinating journey. It's been a fascinating journey. Starting here in this very house, when my father appointed me as regent on the 20th of June 1949, exactly 75 years ago. And then from here, the first 18 years of my life were in J&K as regent, as Sadr-i-Riyasat, as governor. And then I went into national politics with Mrs. Gandhi for 10 years. And then into international politics, UNESCO, and I was ambassador to the United States. I did a lot of interesting and exciting things. I've been very fortunate that I've been afforded many opportunities, very interesting opportunities. And I've tried to make the best of them.
So in all these years, when you were on different platforms, doing different assignments, there's one assignment that you did in US and you did not opt for the salary. And there are many things that people have spoken about this remarkable journey, and many leaders you have got the chance of meeting over these years, and you speak about Nelson Mandela. What was the overall situation?
See, by the way, about the salary, let me clarify the situation. The 10 years that I was in Mrs. Gandhi's cabinet, I did not draw any salary. And I lived in my private house. In America, I had to draw salary because I didn't have any dollars. That's the only 6 months that I've ever drawn a salary. All the rest of my life, by God's grace, I've been self-employed. Well, Nelson Mandela I happened to meet. I was sent as an Indian representative. The centenary of Mahatma Gandhi's arrival in South Africa. 1893 he arrived, 1993 I was sent as a representative, and I met Nelson Mandela, who just been released from jail. What struck me was total lack of bitterness. That man was quite extraordinary. There's not a trace of bitterness. He spent 23 years in the Robbins Island jail, and yet he came out unscathed. And so I met many people. President Barack Obama also, I think, was a remarkable person. I met many people outside of political. I met Helen Keller, the famous different dumb lady. And
I remember last time you said she just put
put her hands over my face and said, "Handsome."
And what was your response?
Nothing. I was stunned. It is such a privilege to have met this lady, and for her to have done that. So I met बहुत सारे लोग मिले, और different situation. I met psychologists, psychiatrists, philosophers, social activists around the world, and I've tried to learn from whatever I meet. I'm basically a learner. I wouldn't say a scholar, but a learner. So I try and learn. I don't feel, अब मुझे सब पता है. I don't need to. That's my attitude. I've always tried to learn.
So trying to know about the political beat from you, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is back into power.
Yes.
Not with that impact this time.
Yes.
But how do you rate his overall performance in these 3 tenures?
Well, the third is just starting. The first 10 years, he is a very powerful leader, mind you. As I said, after Jawahar Lal Nehru, he's been really in a way, the only mass leader to be in power for so long. And he did some good things, he did some not such good things. I don't want to go into a long thing about his regime. He's a great orator. Panditji used to speak in English, he speaks in Hindi. He's a great traveler. Panditji used to travel around like the same way. Abroad also, Jawahar Lal was feted and respected in the same way. So there are many things in common, although ideologically they're poles apart. But both of them have had three sessions.
So do you think Modi has adopted Nehru's foreign policy method?
I don't know, but he certainly traveled a lot abroad. And he's visited a lot of Muslim countries. And they've all, कहीं कहीं क्या क्या उनको मिले वो वहाँ से honors, rare honors from these Muslim countries. I think that's important.
And we also remember, Prime Minister Modi, when he was actually not welcomed in US. Now
yes,
he goes often.
Very good. So he's also a remarkable man in his own way. But we have to judge him now. As you said rightly, he's come back. The country has got a solid, firm Prime Minister. We see how he now adjusts to the new situation. Because now he's not running a BJP government only. He's running an NDA government. It's a government in which you go to share power with other parties. So this is a new experience for him. And let us see how he's a very intelligent man, mind you. He'll probably adjust, I think. Some people feel he can't adjust because he's so used to having his own way. But I don't agree with that. Let's wait and see.
Those who are watching you globally, they definitely would want to know what was the immediate response of Dr. Karan Singh when Article 370 was abrogated? When you first heard that Article 370 has been abrogated, what did you do? I mean, what was the immediate response and your reaction?
Well, there were mixed feelings. There was a feeling of regret, of course, because it meant that the special position of the state had disappeared. But it was also a feeling that this was inevitable. And instead of everyday khich about the quantum of autonomy, kya hona chahiye, kya nahi, at least once and for all, that debate has been put to rest. It's no longer a question of the quantum of autonomy. Except that we should demand the same domestic laws as apply in Himachal and Uttarakhand about land and so on. There are other sections after 370, also 371, 72, 76. But it was a mixed feeling. But I've seen so many changes from my father's time to Indira Gandhi's time, then post Indira Gandhi and so on. I wasn't surprised.
Why do you find yourself at peace? Delhi, Jammu or Srinagar?
All three places, you see. I am at peace with myself. That's what's really important. If I'm at peace with myself, then I'm at peace wherever I
am. Dr. Karan Singh is also considered as a very noted scholar as far as Shaivism is concerned. You have had lots of opportunity to meet gurus like Swami Lakshmanji,
yes,
or many like him. So how do you recall that journey?
I've received blessings from a lot of people, from Swami Lakshmanji. I've had a Kashmiri Pandit Guru, Pandit Parmanand. He used to be the Accountant General. I've had a Vaishnava Guru. You see, in Hinduism there are many sects. Vaishnava Guru, who were Englishmen. I've had a Shaiv Guru, who's an American. I've had a Sufi Guru, Peer Vilayat Khan. Each one of these people have blessed me and given me a mantra. So I've got lots of mantras now.
So, and it continues.
But my books are mainly about Vedanta, which really means the Upanishads. They are the supreme texts of Hinduism. And what I've tried to do is to present the teachings of the Vedanta in a form that people can understand. So sometimes it is so complicated, and the commentators make it more complicated to show off their own learning, that by the end nobody understands the word or what is happening. So I try to do the reverse. I try to express difficult concepts in understandable language. That has been my role, I think.
And it is also received well by the universities globally.
Yes.
So what is your overall impression about the current political scenario in India?
Well,
when,
I am
when a
hopeful.
lot of hate speech is being...
I am hopeful that hate speeches are terrible. They should be banned, and they become counterproductive. They didn't work. If now the opposition and the government cooperate in parliament, then we are on the right path. You see, the disruption of parliament physically is a total denial of all democratic systems. Should never be done. So if the opposition behaves in a responsible manner and the government also responds positively, then you will see a new dialogue emerging, which has been missing for many years. वो देखने वाली बात. Let's see how this session of parliament is starting in a few days. We'll find out. I sincerely hope and pray that we don't lose this opportunity.
So do you see this this time the opposition is going to come up heavily?
Yes, of course. It should come up. I mean, even I remember even when I was in government, opposition was much weaker, but they were very strong. We had people like Hiren Mukherjee and Somnath Chatterjee and Madhu Limai and Nath Pai, and with great speakers in the Lok Sabha. Although the numbers were less, but they used to give a very tough time to government. That's the sort of thing we need. We need to have positive speeches. We have brilliant people in parliament now. People like Shashi Tharoor, who's a good friend and who's a very good speaker. Manoj Tiwari is also another one. So there are people like that who can speak properly on various subjects. But parliament must work. अगर शोर गुल मचता रहेगा तो how can we do anything? I strongly deplore the attempt to break up parliament. Although my late friend Arun Jaitley did. So I have very strong views on that. I can only hope that members of parliament realize.
So if you see the current situation, there are lots of commentators, political observers who believe that Hindutva has, taken over. Being a scholar, being a statesman who has seen this overall in these years, how would you respond to that?
Yes, you see, for one thing, I have my own definition of Hinduism, which is not the same as the Hindutva definition. Simple difference is, my Hinduism is inclusive. Hindutva tends to be exclusive. The moment you become exclusive, then you limit your impact. The Vedas, the Upanishads are inclusive. Ekam sat vipraha bahuda vadanti. The truth is one, the wise call it by many names. There are many beautiful shlokas saying that different religions or different ideas are like different streams emerging from separate parts but find the ending in the ocean. So I think that, I think people are coming back to normal. I don't think extreme Hinduism suits Hinduism at all. The fringe elements who do these attacks and all this is not desirable. And some rather intemperate speeches were made this time, I must say, by the ruling party. But I think they've realized also that hasn't helped them.
It hasn't helped them at all.
And even Ayodhya, this Ram temple, which was a beautiful thing and all, they even lost that seat.
That was a response from the ground.
So it shows that people, India is basically a deeply religious country. Hindus are religious, Muslims are religious, Sikhs are religious, Jains, jo bhi hai, religion is very important. So you can't denigrate it. But it has to be used in a composite manner. That is the key.
So lastly, Dr. Sahab, there's a very important aspect of Dr. Karan Singh, which is his, other than political life, which is his art and culture. Your love for music, your love for poetry, your love for classical music.
That is what has kept me going for all these years. I love all music, by the way. I love Indian classical music. I love Pahadi Dogri music, which I sing and record. And I love rock music. I'm a rock addict. From Bill Haley and the Comets long before Elvis Presley, down to Billy Joel. So I like music. It's part of life. I mean, life without music would be much poorer. So music, beautiful art, and the love of beauty. Just look around you. It's so beautiful. That itself, as it were,
to soak in
that beauty.
Yeah,
that's been my good fortune.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sahab,
Thank you
for this wonderful time.
Pleasure always.
Thank you so much.